Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about that. Is it that Christianity teach or perpetuates hate of the LGBTQIA plus community?
Um, that's the thing. We don't push hate because that's something that we advocate against, right? We don't want hate. We're all about love. It's just rather our book and what we follow says,
Yep.
Leviticus 18:22. It says, "Do not have sexual relations with a man as one does with a woman." That
Yep.
is the
Do
text.
you think that people that have sexual relations man on man deserve to be unalived?
No, I mean that's on them. I personally don't judge or do anything to them.
Yeah, what I'm asking, so do you think God was unjust when he said they should be unalived?
It's his work. Can I finish my point though? I wasn't.
No, I want you to answer my question. Do you think that it was just when God said they should be unalived?
I did. I answered it. I said that's up to him. That's his decision. If God demands it, it is just.
Was God just or was he unjust?
I
That's not
just.
answering the
I
question. Was
just.
he just?
I just told you that if God wants it, it is just. I answered.
Okay, okay. So it is just to unalive people for sleeping with other men.
No, because it's never happened. Not in God's
No, it
will.
has. No, it
Not in
has.
God's will.
Leviticus 20:13 says, "If a man lies with a male as one does with a woman, they have committed an abomination. They shall be put to unalivement. Their blood guilt will be on their own heads." So do you think that God was right when he gave this law or wrong?
Oh, God didn't write that, right?
Yeah, he did. No, he didn't write it, but he gave these laws to Moses on Mount Sinai.
Right, and you understand that there was a.
Did God? So was
All
it
right,
good
bro. I'm
that
not
God
gonna
gave
you
this
for you
law?
interrupting bigoted, like, bro. Oh my gosh.
He crashed out hard.
Yeah. How are
He
you
did.
bigoted? I'm
Yeah,
trying to
it's
understand
a.
that
I'm
one.
bigoted because he was standing behind scripture that says you should unalive non-hetero people. It's crazy
Yeah,
the cognitive dissonance that goes on in Christians' minds.
it is. It's wild.
He wanted
He
to
was a
run his.
POSFF.
He wanted to run a script. Clearly, he did not like me asking questions and forcing him into a
Oh,
conversation. Guys, keep
no.
tapping them likes, keep sharing it out. We have been in TikTok jail clearly lately, and we're trying to get out. Please tap that screen and share it out. I did bring up a guest because I was hoping that maybe that would give us a little boost right out the gate, but it didn't
No,
seem to do
you
much.
were just going, I'm going to break the rules. Crystal's not here.
No, I literally said Crystal's gonna be mad when I get here, but I'm gonna bring you up. Questions are hard. Keith, that's the problem with Christians is they do not want you to question them. They want to have all the questions for you, and they want to back you into corners that they can't even back you into because they take too many presuppositions. Whereas I can literally take them to the Bible and back them into a corner just by the words of their own God. It's crazy. KJ, thanks for being here. KJ is an original here. We love KJ. Make sure we're giving a W to KJ for just being awesome. Glitter as well. Glitter as well.
Ty here is here. Grana Zana, Jay the they. Jay, I hope you're recovering well from your surgery. We have so many great people. Kaisak, Alan,
Always. Always so
so
many
many
good
good people.
people.
And I haven't seen who is all over on YouTube, but hello, YouTube. Welcome back. Keep tapping the screen, you guys. Let's get to 5,000 likes as quickly as possible. Also, don't forget to share out the live. We need to get to 100 shares, and we're sitting at only 29. So I need you guys to go hit that little arrow down the bottom right-hand corner of your screen and hit that copy link about a bajillion times for us, if you wouldn't mind. Send it out to your Discord. Send it out to some friends. Send it out to some of your group chats. And let's get some people in here. Also, don't forget, Joyful has a gift goal today. It's of the hats and mustaches. So if you have the coin, send a hat and mustache up to him. Let's help him crush that gift goal. And don't forget, we're trying to get the subbies back up. So if you haven't subscribed, think of doing so today. It's less than a cup of coffee a month, and you're subscribed to Netflix, Hulu, Paramount Plus, and the Disney Channel. And yet you're here every day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days out of the year. So why don't you cancel some of those subscriptions since you're not watching them? Save yourself some money and then come over here and subscribe to creators like Joyful and myself, where you get more bang for your buck.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for being here. Over there on Burns Marduk, thank you for being here. Joe White, hey, how are you? Glad to see you all over here. If you want to join the conversation and you disagree over on YouTube, in the description there is a link that you can click, and it doesn't take any signing up. It doesn't take giving your email. You just type in a random name, and then you will be in on the conversation. I will put that actually in the chat here while we're getting set up.
Hey, Mark Coyle, instead of telling us to shut up and calling us Satans and stuff, why don't you come up and tell us about being born again? I really have this feeling that your Jesus would prefer that you were nice to us and told us the good news.
How's it going, guys?
Good news. Hey, Spirit, was I talking? I'm sorry, I think I was talking. Anyway, Mark, request up instead of yelling at us in chat, and let's come on up and have a conversation. The guest box is open. Spirit, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
35.
All right, and are you a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
All right. And did you want to talk today about why you hate the LGBTQIA or how God does not exist?
I don't hate gays, but we can start there.
Okay, can you not say gays? That would be nice. That would be a good place to start. And instead, you're going to say the rainbow community, LGBTQIA, something like that, okay?
Okay, yeah, you're not going to control how I speak, or you could just drop me.
I will on this show.
Yeah, well,
but you won't.
Yeah,
you won't control me.
And
Spirit.
you can't say
Hold
stuff
on.
like that
Hold on.
on TikTok.
Spirit, you're gonna have to just chill because this is TikTok rules, not me rules, not Crystal rules. I am not gonna get my live taken down because you want to say whatever you want. If you do not like that, then TikTok is not the place for you. You need to go somewhere else. But you are more than welcome to say if you are going to try to mask your words a little and we can have an actual conversation, or you can crash out and run away early into the conversation instead of getting schooled.
Yeah, I'll say Skittles because it's
okay. That's fine.
Yeah. But I'm not into getting controlled, so she's not going to be able to do that. But yeah,
he's going to go now. Bye. I'm done with him. He can kiss my ass. I controlled you, bitch. You're not here anymore. See how I controlled you? Sorry. But I'm not playing today, okay? Like, you're not going to just come up here and be homophobic the minute you come up here. Then when I try to tell you there's some rules with TikTok, you're going to tell us that you won't be controlled by me. First of all, I'm the co-host. You will be controlled by me. Second of all, I just dropped you down. You were controlled by me. Get over it.
Also, if you are in the... or you don't have to be a Christian to disagree with the LGBTQIA plus community and come up and talk to us. So if you are against the LGBTQIA, you are more than welcome to request up and we will have a conversation with you as well. We do not discriminate against bigots. We will bring you all up.
But you will have to understand I'm the co-host and I'm going to talk and I'm going to tell you things, and I am in control. I am his lead mod, and so if that's going to bother you, you know, you need to know that ahead of time. That is going to happen.
He did not want to have an actual conversation. But yeah. He came up here crying. Give me 1 second, I'm gonna... Let me see here. No.
Somebody just said, Crystal, you must learn to behave correct. That is the funniest thing I ever read in my life. Doug, this person thinks I need to learn how to behave.
Good luck.
My husband wishes you good luck with that.
All right. So if you're over on YouTube, go ahead and request up, and we will bring you up. If you are friends, or if you are friendly, and you want to come up and say something about one of the topics, now's your time when we don't have any guests. You are more than welcome to come up, either through Video Ninja and ask a few questions, or through the TikTok. Just keep doing what you're doing, guys. I appreciate you. We'll get back out there into the algorithm eventually. It's been an up and down battle for me since day one, and we will get back out there. Let's see here. We got Dylan.
Hello, how y'all doing?
You know, I can't see the guest box today, so I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine. Yeah, my lives are weird.
Okay.
Hello, how y'all
Dylan, can
doing?
I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, I'm 22.
Okay, and did you want to talk about why you hate the LGBTQIA, or did you want to talk about how God does not exist?
We can talk about why I hate the gays.
Okay. You can't say that up here, and if you just came to say that because I just told somebody else not to, then
I
you
didn't
can
know.
leave. Okay, you cannot say that word. You must say the LGBTQIA or the rainbow community or something else.
Okay, why do they always want to be included in schools? It's kind of weird.
Why do you think that it's okay to include heterosexual normative or heterosexual relationships within school readings? Like, for example, so you think it's okay to have a mom and dad in a book for a kid to read?
Yeah, that's normal.
Do you think it's okay to have a dad and a dad in a book
No.
for a kid to read? All right, so you're going to have to make a distinction
Can a
on why
dad and a
one
dad
is
have a
okay and what
child?
is not. Yes.
Can a
Can dad and dads have children all the
Oh
time?
my goodness, I'm talking to a retard. My little nieces know
All
more
right,
than
so
you.
Okay,
you
bye.
can't
He's
say the
gone
R
now.
slur. Oh
You're
my
a
He's gone
retard.
now. He's gone now. Can somebody?
What is
ban him, please?
happening? What
Can
is
somebody
happening?
Please make sure. I need to make sure he gets banned, please. Can somebody make sure Dylan gets banned?
No, the R slur is just as bad as
Whatever.
any other slur. We do not do slurs.
Okay. Shivanand Khan, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
My age? I'm 47.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry, 47? You're really hard to hear for me. Can you hear him?
I say I'm 47 years.
Okay, and
20.
did you want to talk about how you hate the LGBTQIA community, or did you want to talk about how God does not exist?
I want to speak about the topic where God does not exist. That's what I want to talk about.
I can't hear him.
You have a really bad like ringing thing in your microphone. Are you wearing headphones or?
No, I'm not wearing not man.
Okay, you're gonna have to figure out something with your audio because there's like a very loud ringing noise on top of you being super quiet. Do you have headphones you can use?
No.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to figure that out, and then you can come right back. But I cannot do the loud, high-pitched noise that is happening right now. People don't hate blank. People hate in child indoctrinations. Do you hate Sunday school, Mia? Or no, that wasn't Mia. Nomaru? Nomaru, come up and let's talk about this. You hate indoctrination, so let's talk about hating indoctrination, because I agree with you. I 100% agree with you, and I just sent you an invite. I hate indoctrination of children. Yeah, Glitter, I have the worst. Somebody told me the other day that they love my lives because I have, like, the most mature people to debate. And I'm like, have you not? I don't think you've watched my live. Not a single live I've had a mature person that I debated.
Yeah,
Not a single one.
I love that. Listen, we've got some comments going on. Boots wants to say a lot, but Boots won't come up because they're probably not old enough or something. But, oh, somebody said something back here. I can't find it now. They wanted to know, like, what happened to freedom of speech or something. And for all of you that haven't taken basic classes on government or anything in high school yet, freedom of speech doesn't mean you can say... He's yelling at the cat. Freedom of speech doesn't mean that you can say anything you want without consequences. And on TikTok, there are things you can't say, but also in this live, there are things that I'm not going to allow you to say because I will not put up with bigotry. I mean, we'll allow a certain level because we won't be able to talk to you people without talking to some bigots. But when it's just one bigoted thing after another out of your mouth, you're not going to last on this live. There's no freedom of speech here. We have consequences.
Let's see. Sarah Standing, thank you for the 279 CA. Love you, Joyful and Crystal. Thank you so much for that, Sarah. You are amazing.
Thank you, Sarah. But man, does your backdrop bring out the bigots? That's all I know, is it just brings them out. None of them care whether God exists today. They don't want to tell you about their God and how their God exists. Instead, they want to tell you why it's okay for them to be a bigot. They just want to be like, not only am I a bigot, I'm proud of it, and I hate you on top of it. How about them apples? That's where they're at today.
Yeah, it's crazy. TikTok just is not really pushing us to other people than my following, I don't think.
It's not.
It's annoying how much work I put into this and I do this. It's just obnoxious. Let's see. It looks like we have somebody in the guest box. We have Qualia. Let's see if we can talk about God existing.
Yeah, how do you know
Hey,
that God does
Qualia,
not
can I
exist?
get-
Go ahead.
Qualia, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, I'm 25. I have a question for Apostate.
Okay, hang on. Just
I'm
dial
not
it back
talking
a
to you
second.
respectfully.
There's
I
a
don't
few-
want to talk to you. Apostate,
Okay,
can you
well,
answer my question?
she-
Get the fuck
she's
off
my-
the show.
You're a
What the
fat
fuck
old
is
woman.
wrong with these
You're a
people?
fat old woman.
Get the
Look
fuck off.
Co-host.
Anyway, Apostate, how
Such
do you
a
know that
little-
God does not exist? Go ahead.
We're not talking
I'm-
to you till you show me some goddamn
Hey,
respect.
shut your fat mouth. I'm not talking to
Okay.
Show me respect
you.
or
You
get
fat
the fuck
old
out of
woman.
here.
Shut up.
Where are these conversations that they say you have? I want to know because I feel like a bouncer at a bar right now. Anyway, Lobes, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, I'm 29. I just came up to say hello. Joyful, I met you recently.
Yeah.
had a fun conversation. I just popped in here. I'm on my lunch break, and that was a really funny first guest for me to hear. For like,
all 5 of our guests so far have gotten removed for the same reason.
that is insane. Immediate ad homs, just right out the gate, super brutal. Like, I don't know, like, it's kind of, it's like, what's the common denominator when people come in here who are on the theist side or Christian side and they want to act this way? It's kind of pathetic.
It is pretty pathetic. They don't have an actual argument, I don't think.
Hello?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Sorry, I had it in my Bluetooth and then something started going down, so I switched it to regular. I didn't hear what you said.
I like how he started with respectfully, I'm not talking to you, right? To you fat old.
Yeah, he goes, respectfully,
like, wow,
you
respectfully?
Like, what? Where? That escalated so quickly. Like, I don't even know. But you're more than welcome to hang out with us, Lobes, if you have time and you want to.
I've got 20 minutes now.
Lobes, I have been watching you live sometimes. I didn't realize who it was until I just saw your face just now.
Lobes is amazing.
To meet you. So glad you come up. Yeah, you're great.
Thank you. I'm glad.
And we're going to set up a live for August or September once I start doing the one guest a week, and Lobes is going to be one of our special guests. So he's going to come up and cook with us.
You changed your mind about the pineapple on pizza thing?
What? No, I will never change my mind.
Okay, as long as it's not barring me from getting anymore.
No, it ain't gonna bar you. Like, I'm married to one of them, so like I am forced to see it, and I hate it, but I bear with it.
Right.
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
What? Pineapple on pizza, Crystal.
Oh, you're one of the people who hate it, and you're one of the people who like it. I'm one of those people who I don't give a shit. Like, pineapple, okay, pineapple and that, I don't care. It's.
I eat things that most people probably wouldn't eat, like sardines and stuff. Like, I love sardines and anchovies.
Then you've got I'd say, you really have the moral high ground about pizza toppings if you're going to be putting things like that in your mouth. But I also can't wait to talk about
We'll just put cat food on your pizza at that point.
napkins. I don't know. Anyways, is this starting? Or it looks like you guys have 10,000 likes. Probably nothing.
We've been about a half hour now. We started at 6. Hopefully we can get some ops in here. That has been the struggle for us lately, is getting pushed out to anybody other than my following and friends.
And then when we do get
people
somebody up, having me lose my shit on them does not help the show. It's not helping.
Well, nobody has any room to say the things that these people have been saying. Like, they can't stay up. I can't platform them regardless if you are here or not.
Yeah. It's just...
Yeah. Alright, if you are over on YouTube and you disagree, you could jump into the tiny URL that I've pinned there at the top of the conversation over on YouTube, and you can come talk with me. You will not be able to talk to my other guests. While on that, we are still working on figuring out a way to get people over from there to be able to talk to more than just me. But we'll get there, and once we do the, just to explain a little, if you do message me about becoming a guest on the show, once we start doing a new co-host a week, or every live, we will send you a URL yourself to join the Video Ninja as well if you have the capability, so you can be in on the conversation as well. So there will be that as well. But I'm trying to find a way to where we can get it to where people in other things can hear the TikTok conversations, but I don't think so. Qualia, I don't think Crystal is going to let you back up. So I don't know why you're requesting.
You've got to be kidding me. You'd have to come up and literally kiss my ass for you to get back up here.
Jared. Jared, servant of Christ. Come up into the tiny URL. There, it's pinned there at the top. Come up and we can talk to you too, or I can talk to you too, Jared. So, Lobes, were you, like, a little bit of backstory. So, were you Christian for quite a while, or?
Still the majority of my life up to this point. I'm 29, and I realized I wasn't a Christian when I was 22. That's when I admitted it to myself. Because you know how people are like, what made you decide to become an atheist? And, like, it's just not a decision. You know, if it was up to me, I never would have left the faith. And then I realized later on that I was an atheist after people were telling me that. I'm like, no, I'm not an atheist. I'm not. Well, maybe technically. And then I finally had to just be like, okay, fine, yeah, I am. Because I didn't want to be one. Like, it just happened. So, yeah.
You know, it's weird how people, like Christians, I think, assume that we want to be one, and that's why we are one. But they don't realize how many of us not only did not want to be one, we fought being one. We fought even calling ourselves that, because for some reason we even had a stigma against what we actually were. Like, I know a lot of atheists who took a long time before they would actually say, I'm an atheist. But even more so, I've watched them on this app, Joel, say, I'm an ex-Christian, when in fact they are an atheist, you know, and because they don't want to put that label on it. It kind of reminds me of Sadak Mac Biftaj in reverse. We're trying not to call ourselves that.
Yeah, and like for me, I think that a lot of it was like clinging to the agnostic thing. Like I was just like, well, I'm agnostic. I'm not necessarily an atheist. But for me, the difference is my parents. So my dad, there was this picture that our whole family knows about. It's my mom wearing an AC/DC shirt holding my oldest brother when she's 14. She was 14 when she had my oldest brother. And she's wearing an AC/DC shirt. And my dad was like, yeah. He was like, that's when we were atheists, and we used to like do like real, like he'd tell us these horror stories of the stuff they would do when they were atheists. So like my idea of atheists were like, these are just people that just are constantly doing the craziest shit. And so like even leaving the faith, I was like, I don't want to be associated with that. But then I got to know atheists, and I was like, wait, that's just like another form of indoctrination.
True, it really is. It's funny too, like when I love it now that Joel is saying something to people when they say that I was an atheist for years before I became Christian or something. He'll go, oh, what was your favorite atheist argument? Because they're usually like, well, I hated God. Then you weren't an atheist, because you can't see that. But it's funny, like how there's so many stigmas in their mind about what an atheist is, and it's like never what it is.
Like, I hated God. It sounds like, because if we said that, you'd be like, how could you hate something that doesn't exist? And then you're telling me that when you were an atheist, you hated God. Hey, thanks for that cool heart thing, whoever sent that.
Hey, Nietzsche, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Crystal, you're built like a bag of milk. Lobs, you're a sand nigger. Fucking nigger. Kill yourself.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Christians are the most loving.
Yeah, they remind us.
Unbelievable. That's 6 for 6, guys. 6 for 6.
Maybe we'll get 100 out of 100 in like and then like rapid fire all of them. You're like, there's every Christian I had come up here. I'm not leaving anybody out. And just show. I mean, because I don't want to say that like all Christians are this way or all Christians are that way, but when you have the data that supports a certain thing, like it just here's what the Christians that we've had behave like. Like, do better, please. We don't behave like this, or we ought not to.
No, it's so weird too. Like I don't remember being a Christian having that much anger and hatred towards anybody. And like I would never have been so mad at Joyful for doing this live that I would want to call in and just say the most abhorrent things that could ever come out of my mouth. I would, however, think that I am chosen by God to bring a message to Joyful and bring him love and light. I would have thought that, and I would have called him for that. But I would not have thought, God, I hate this guy so much.
You say I'm a sand M. That's
Mhm.
that's for like. Does he think I'm Arab? I'm pretty sure that's who that's for. I looked it up and I saw that one time on a list, and I'm pretty sure that's who that's for. So for the record, I'm not Arab. I'm white. I'm a white guy.
That's wild. Thy neighbor, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
39.
All right. And did you want to talk tonight about how you hate the LGBTQIA community or how God does not exist?
I don't hate the LGBTQIA plus community. Those are my siblings. I love them.
Okay. So do you want to talk about how God does not exist?
I mean, I respect your view on it. I just disagree with you, and I don't necessarily believe in trying to prove it. I look at it as...
So then what did you come up here for tonight? What did you want to talk about?
I wanted to be a respectful Christian to really break that number for you guys.
Based, I guess. At least there's that.
Okay, well, thank you for that, but we are looking for people to debate on these topics. I do appreciate you. I do. Because I think that there are people out there that use Christianity for good purposes, even though the religion as a whole is a shitty thing that causes people to do shitty things.
A skeptic, but I think if we would have given it 5 minutes, we would have seen that he is not indeed a different Christian. I'm just a skeptic.
Yeah, if I would have let him down like the trap of LGBTQIA and hating them, we probably would have got somewhere, but I don't know. I didn't want to do that to him. He seemed like he was trying to be respectful.
It'll be canon in my mind that he is special and different and he's the good kind of Christian. Oh, that's not how that song goes.
You could have him in the montage of all the Christians, so that like, okay, we did get one, but like, he didn't want to talk about the topic, so it didn't last long, and then it's all these other ones.
Usually I'll have like the last like month or so, it's been like I'll have one good conversation in a whole night. And then usually we do my spoof account where I just troll Christians. So by the end of it, because it's just so lackluster, I don't know.
What do you do when you troll them?
I have an account called I Am His Pastor. And I do lives where, sometimes we pray for women to get their virginity back to restore their hymens. Sometimes we cast out demons. Sometimes it's just like ask the pastor and the Holy Spirit will lead me in all truth to answer it. things like that. And like I talk in a heavy Southern accent and just say the most outlandish shit. And we have people, like, no lie, I'll have atheists so mad at me believing that this is real. So I don't know that it's necessarily even a Christian troll.
Christians and atheists.
Yes,
They
I'll
in
get
there, 'cause the
everybody
Christians
will
are
be
like,
so mad.
these people are not real Christians. This is horrible. This is, and this is a troll. This is rage bait. And then you'll have the atheists down there going, oh my God, these people are heinous. What the hell are you saying? It's hilarious.
I want to create another account and get a felt puppet, like a Muppet style puppet, and have it in opposition of like my account, and he's like stitching me and be like, "This freaking idiot thinks this," but I don't know. Like, I think it'd be funny, but I feel like if I'm making good points to make it seem legit, then it might do like the reverse of what I want to do on TikTok. It might actually do the reverse.
Yeah, I've actually, like, made arguments before and people are, like, backing me in the comments and I'm just like, oh shit. Like, this is getting too real.
Yeah, and then you have to debunk your other account as Joyful Apostate.
Mm-hmm. It's fun. It is, Josephus, it is, I am his pastor. You type that in, it will have 2 crosses on either side, and it's just like a, image of, like, this pastor cartoon thing at a pulpit, and that's all it is, and then it just says the craziest shit.
When he gets, like, well, Justin was
Joel.
on this week.
Justin, yeah.
But when we get Joel, Justin, Mezzo, me, Mac Lester is even hilarious as hell up there.
Mm-hmm.
They're all, one time Daniel Green was up there too, and that was just hilarious. My favorite thing is that I kept calling him Piss Monkey because Joel did one time. So I just kept doing it the rest of the night to Daniel. It was awesome, but that's just the funnest time when they're all up there.
Yeah,
Watch that.
we had quite a crew the other night. Although this guy, this poor dude, was up there trying to defend Justin because I'm arguing against Justin, and he's up there he's there the whole live up on my panel. And the next morning, he texted or messaged him on Discord and was like, "Hey, that was some bullcrap how they kicked you off that live last night, thinking that it was all legit." He was there the whole live, and me and Justin are just going back and forth saying the most crazy shit.
That's hilarious.
That IOASIS guy that was there. Yeah, something was not quite, people that, like, go that far in, right on, Lobes. Thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, it was good talking.
Hey, we'll set up a night where you're the co-host and we'll have a hangout.
Cool, yeah, just send me a DM.
Right on, man. Have a good night. Alright, and then we get a guest as soon as... Nope. You cannot come back up, dude. You literally say the most heinous shit, and then you try to come back up on the live. Guys, we may have to do a restart. We are at 37 people this far in. Yeah. We may have to do a TikTok restart here. Yeah. Unfortunately, but... I think that's what we're going to have to do. Thank you guys so much for the likes. We're almost at 20K in the first hour, even with this small of an amount of people. But I don't know what else to do. TikTok is just not being our friend. And I keep getting the same freaking trolls requesting up, and that is it. So, we'll be right back. Give me, 2 minutes, we'll be back.
Enough, I guess. You are cool enough, but I
45
wonder
says
why.
C dash to Tiger Side.
Tiger
Icarus
side.
says thank you lol, it pops up on my feed, but I never get to watch them. They load a bunch though.
Oh, that's crazy. I'll put it in
Ethot
Discord.
You're actually a 4-year-old debater. These hoes can never.
Like, okay, would I be a debater before my first debate?
T.
Probably not, because you are according to time, and so you'd have to have a point that you'd do it first before we'd consider you one of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You don't.
Well, back here at home, an Indianapolis church is calling for members of the LGBTQ plus community.
Get YouTube going back up in here. Alright, we should be good. Over on YouTube as well. Hey, Radio Spencer, nice to see you, I do need you to confirm the date in August that you said you would want to do the live. If you could DM me, that would be amazing, because I really want to get you in the schedule, and I can't remember the exact date you said you could do it. So, definitely hit me up in the DMs for that. Let's see. Drayden, thanks for joining, guys. We're getting back going. This is a restart. Hopefully, we can get a push. I don't know why. Oh, right on, Radio. No problem. I was just letting you know. Praise the Lord. Yes, Rainbow Chad. Praise the Lord. Hopefully we get at least something going tonight. We are having the hardest time on this channel. I don't know what it is. I haven't got any suspensions recently, but it's just, we just aren't getting pushed out anymore, and I don't know what exactly happened there. We got Crystal coming back up. Hello, Crystal. Welcome back.
Joyful, welcome back. Welcome back, everybody. Hey, Spence, I see you there. Hey, Chad, how are you? Yi Fengshi, how are you? Good to see everybody. Thanks for coming back. Keep tapping that screen, sharing out the live. Please help us get to 5,000 likes, 100 shares as quickly as possible, even though this is a restart. It still has to happen. Also, don't forget to go up next to Joyful's name. It's going to bring up a list of things. One, you can get a bonus 10. I don't know what that's for. Then if you send a heart me, you get 45 points for that. If you send a go popular, you get some more points for that. If you send a gift, you get points for that. If you do those things and collect your points, hey Eli, you help boost us in the team rankings. Those are our leagues. Those things help give us more boost in the algorithm and the FYP as well. I know it's so much work and we appreciate everything you guys do. You really rock. You really show up for us and we really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hopefully, I'm working on a few collabs with some bigger named TikTokers. So hopefully we can get them up in here at some point to help us kind of boost a little bit. And also, they're just wonderful people, and I want to actually get the chance to speak with them myself. Hashtag Christian in the chat. Hashtag Christian. Hashtag Bible. Hashtag church. Whatever hashtag you can put in the chat. Go ahead and put that in the chat and let's see if we can't get something going here. Yeshua over on YouTube, go ahead and join up in the Video Ninja and we'll bring you up here and you can, alright, so, Siobhan, you are not coming up even though we restarted. That's not how this is going to work. This is all a game for your entertainment.
Hannah, if you have a minute, I would love it if you can come up here. I do have a question that you might be able to help me with. I'm going to send you an invite, and if you can come up, I'm sure Joyful wouldn't mind if we took a minute to discuss the Bible. How are you tonight, Rabbi?
Give me just a minute so I can plug in my phone.
Okay.
I'm currently running some deeper filth on Discord.
Might have to have you look up a verse because I don't have a Bible or my iPad ready on me, Joyful. But the verses I want to ask her about is where the guy gets unalive for picking up sticks in Exodus. I can't remember what it is. And then the other verse is in Leviticus, and it tells you the sacrifice you have to give if you unknowingly sin. It's in Leviticus. So those are the ones I want to ask her. These
Unknowing sin, as in like you made a mistake, right? Not like you Is it? Are you speaking whether or not it's het, evan, or pesha?
No, my question is like, why did they unalive the guy who was picking up sticks, but they weren't even like really sure if they were what they were supposed to do, that he broke that law because the law was so new. But later it's going to say in Leviticus, hey, if you unknowingly commit a sin and then it's brought to your attention, you can make a sacrifice. Why didn't that guy get to make a sacrifice?
That's a good question, and I'm going to have to look at it. You said it's Exodus?
Yes.
No, it's Numbers.
Oh, Numbers.
Okay,
Numbers.
It's Numbers. I'm sorry, you're right, Joyful. Numbers.
Yeah, so it's hey Peepaw! Peepaw in the chat. Everybody give a shout out to Peepaw. Peepaw's amazing.
Numbers.
It's Numbers 15, 32 through 36.
32. Let's do it.
Hey Peepaw, nice to meet you. I'm Crystal, Joyful's co-host. And thank you so much, Rabbi, for coming up and answering this. I just came across this week in Non-Believers Bible Study, and it just made me think, like, if God is all-knowing, he knows that he was going to give this law in the future.
This is not in the future, love. This
So
is
it's
after
even
the
in the
law is
past
given.
then.
So Numbers
then
is
why didn't they
after.
give him that chance?
Yeah, Numbers is after Leviticus, and there's no chance here because the law in Leviticus has already been given. You cannot break the Sabbath. So that is what they're saying.
Okay, so then my next question is, why is it a sin to pick up sticks, but those same people could pick up stones and throw them at that man?
Just ask the whole. Okay, so that is a really good question. That's a really good question. Hold on a second.
Also, I would like it's clear that Moses doesn't even know what should be done for picking up sticks. So it seems like he wouldn't know that this would be breaking the Sabbath, the same as Moses wouldn't.
Yeah.
Well, clearly they know that he's not supposed to be picking up sticks because they bring him to custody. It's Moses who doesn't know what the penalty should be, and then of course,
oh yeah,
it's God who says you're going to put him to unalivement. You're going to stone him. Moses and Aaron just know you're not supposed to break the Sabbath, so they bring this guy before Moses and Aaron. Are like, okay, this dude broke the Sabbath. Like, what do we do? Now, I know that Jewish tradition would state the reason is that the Sabbath, in fact, in the 613 laws today, it's one of the 3 laws that cannot, or no, yes, it can. Never mind. I'm wrong. I was misunderstanding something. It would be considered actually breaking the Sabbath too. Taking him outside the camp doesn't matter if it's still on the Sabbath day. So, hold on. Let me go get that.
Grana Zana, you can DM Rabbi Hana on Discord or on TikTok to
How
ask
can I get
her
a Lord of the Rings
question.
Also, if people have questions during the lives, message over on Discord because I do have that on my computer finally. And I have it open, so if I get a message on Discord, it may take a couple minutes if I'm in the middle of a conversation, but I will address your Discord questions. You can't work on the Sabbath, right? Yeah, you can't
you're not supposed to. Yeah, and there are 39 what we call, like, things you are not allowed to do. Picking up things is part of them. So you can't make knots, you can't tear things, you can't pick things up, or with the intention to burn a fire. So part of that is the belief that this dude's picking up sticks to burn a fire. You're not allowed to start a fire on or during the Sabbath. You would have to have done it beforehand. Yeah, I'm not saying it's not BS, because it is. Let me be clear. And let me look at something.
I like it. I feel like you're working it all out for us out loud. Like I'm hearing your thoughts and I like the process.
When Jesus
just 1 second, I'm going to address my daughter real quick.
Okay. Thank
that
you
is
so
absolutely
much.
fine.
Guys, while Rabbi's
Scooter,
up here,
yeah,
send
that's a good
Rabbi
question
some
too.
love.
Here's the thing, Scooter, is Jesus did transgress the law. We know that he transgressed the law. Even, like, conservative Christians who believe that the Bible is infallible, as we have it today, their own book tells us in John that Jesus transgressed the law.
Good afternoon, by the way. I really like your topic. It's really interesting.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, sir.
Right on. What is your age?
45. 46 in the end of August.
Okay, so which of the two topics did you find intriguing?
Both of them, actually.
Which one would you like to talk about right now?
move your
I
head. a second,
suggest
read the
you
bottom.
talk about how God doesn't exist, because I think that conversation might go better, since every time we talk about the other one, it hasn't gone well tonight. So
Okay.
maybe it would go better.
Okay. In what way does he not exist?
Okay, so to conclude if a god exists or doesn't exist, we'd have to come up with a definition of a god. So do you agree with me that this god would be the creator of all things, omnipotent, and omnipotent?
Sure. We could go with that. Yes, sir.
Okay.
100%.
Okay, so the problem's going to be is that you cannot both be all good, all powerful, and the creator of all things, and all knowing all at the same time, because he created things that by nature would not be good. There would be there would be unnecessary suffering within the world. Not just suffering, but unnecessary suffering. Like, he created the world to have tectonic plates. And every now and again, the world shakes really hard and unalives a lot of people. Do you think that that is something a good God, knowing that it's going to unalive hundreds of thousands of people, would create and bring into existence?
Well, I mean, that's the formation of a planet, right? I mean, we have a core of metal and everything spins around it, right? You agree with that?
Yep.
Basic physics, right? That's why we have an atmosphere and things, and electromagnetic force field, if you would.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think it's just part of the ecosystem.
Well, yeah, but God created and made those choices knowing full well when he was creating and saying everything was good that he created. He knew that it would randomly shake and unalive hundreds of thousands of people a year.
That's his doing.
Yeah. And so I would say that there's no way an all-knowing, all-loving, all-good God could exist, because he chose to create a world in which people are going to unnecessarily be unalived and suffer. That isn't good.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. It's tragic when earthquakes happen, and it's just the way the world is.
Yep.
I mean, man can't control it. Not yet, that we know of. Anyway.
Well, yeah. So, so I wouldn't believe that the God could exist because it doesn't make logical sense.
Why doesn't it make logical sense?
Because an all good God would not do things that are not good. So all good, to be all good, you would have to, all things you do should be good. So unnecessary suffering is not good.
How do you figure it's unnecessary suffering? So he builds a planet, right? And it has its own abilities, function, whatever you want to call it. And, it needs to do this so often. It's like when you boil a teapot, eventually it gets hot and it whistles, kind of thing. So, maybe it's just the way he designed it.
So if I...
Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. So if I create... Go ahead. Crystal, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, so what we're saying is that even if there's suffering in the world, and even if there is some that you could point to that you go, well, this happens, and like, for instance, wildfires happen, and then, Rabbi, you can go after me. Wildfires happen, and in some areas, that's the only way certain seeds can spread, is because of the wildfires. All right, I get that. You want to tell me why Harlequin babies exist, though? Because that's just a baby born with a horrible, horrific, painful condition until they unalive. in a short amount of time.
Yeah, my
there's
aunt works at a hospital, and she does that kind of work.
yeah, there's no
I
need for
praise
that
her all
baby
the
to go
time
through that.
for working with these babies, because some do survive, and it's a
No,
miracle.
Harlequin babies don't survive.
I understand, but she does work in that. You know, I mean, in those cases, most of the time it's not. But you know, like a mother that has a drug addiction that comes in and has a child prematurely, and those are
Okay, but I'm not
similar.
talking about that. I was talking about a very specific condition. I wasn't talking about any condition. I was talking about a very specific condition. And that condition is being a Harlequin baby. There is no reason for babies to suffer from the moment they're born until their little short life ends. The entire time. It does nothing for anybody.
You're right. You're right. It's terrible. I can't even imagine that. I'm a father. I've been a father. My son just turned 22 on the 30th of last month, a couple days ago. So, from a father standpoint, that's horrible to even think about. But, you know, it's out of our control sometimes.
Yeah, but it's not out of
Did
God.
you want to say something?
Oh yeah, I was listening, but I wanted to bring it back to part of the reason, like what you were asking me earlier, Crystal, is because we see when we go back to Exodus, in Exodus, where am I right now? 31:12, it talks about the Sabbath law, and that anyone who breaks or profanes the Sabbath in any way will be put to unalivement. Now, the reason the unalivement happens outside the camp is
Now was that
reasoning
under the
behind
old
that.
covenant?
Please let me finish my thought process. I have odd HD, and and I'm in the middle of menopause, so the brain fog is real. So like the brainstorm in my head is I'm a stroke survivor, odd HD, and menopause. That's a combination that no one wants to fuck with.
Right on.
So the understanding is the reason they are taken outside of the camp is not to disturb the Sabbath inside the camp. But like the reason that Moses and Aaron wait is because this is the first time you're seeing this profaning of the Sabbath, and they're like, I mean, I know God said we're supposed to do this, but are we really still supposed to do this? And you now have this God going, bitches, I told you this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
Is it okay? Absolutely the fuck not.
Right on. There's our answer. Thank you so much, Rabbi.
Yeah, I find it disturbing that this God is so upset with somebody picking up sticks, but he's okay that they go pick up some stones to unalive that
I would
person. That
absolutely
really
agree with
bothers
you.
me.
Not only do I agree with you, but I would say so do our sages. Our ancient rabbis have made it where the unalivement penalty it is almost impossible to actually give out. You would have to have, so in order for someone to be unalive for a penalty that would require unaliving, you have to have two people who are Torah learned, who don't know each other, who come across this thing happening, that when they first see it, they warn the person independently of each other. That person then decides if they're still going to go on with it or not. And then if they don't, they go about their business. If they do, they still have to prove to the Bet Din that they can corroborate each other's stories, that they didn't know each other, that they don't have ulterior motives, that somebody doesn't have I'm trying to get this person, so I'm saying these things. It is an almost impossible task to get someone to be unalived according to the Talmud and the Sanhedrin because of things like this.
Gotcha.
And my first act as a rabbi was to sign an entire document with 100, 200 rabbi colleagues of mine against the death penalty. I am definitely anti that. That being said, you were asking me a question. Was this the old law? What does that matter?
Well, I mean, Jesus Christ, when he came up, it was under a new covenant, correct?
No.
New Testament. Yeah, he was the ultimate sacrifice.
No.
I mean,
That's
he was
another
born.
problem I have, Rabbi,
No.
is that the Old Testament also states that the lamb for the sin sacrifice is to be a female, and Jesus
Yes.
wasn't. So I'm
Right, and the reason why it's supposed to be a female is a very specific reason. Because you are now
for the sin sacrifice is to be a female, and Jesus wasn't. So
you are now removing the procreative abilities of a chattel animal that would go on producing offspring for you. So that is why it had to be a female for certain sacrifices, to show the severity of the sacrifice. Means you are now cutting the line off. So you are no longer going to benefit from the procreative abilities of this animal.
yeah, I found that really interesting, and I was like, I was always taught Jesus was the lamb. I don't know how he could be the lamb if he's, male presenting.
That brings in a whole other category of issues, but my brain is like right off the bat, like, no, because and you've heard me talk about it, and I know Joyful has, about right off the bat, before we even get into the messianic prophecies, right off the bat, you can't take on the sin for somebody else. You can't do a human sacrifice. And if you were to do a sacrifice, let's say that we're putting those aside, that sacrifice could not be blemished in any way, shape, or form. So if you present a sacrifice that is broken, bruised, bleeding, that is not a sufficient sacrifice. Not according to Second Temple law, which this Jesus character, this Jesus person would have been fallen under.
Yeah. I think one of the problems that I have had in having this discussion with Christians especially is like, then they want to go to the prophecies, and then we have to go down that whole rabbit hole of
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with you, Zedek. We did that yesterday.
Anyway, Rabbi, I appreciate you coming up and explaining that.
It's always a pleasure. I appreciate you. I'll be listening if you need me, or Crystal can send out, the rabbi signal.
Yeah, for sure.
Which I've decided the rabbi signal for me is just a big rainbow talit that you just blast some light through, and I'll come running.
Right on. Well, Rabbi, I love you. I hope
Rabbi
that.
Hannah.
Yeah,
Hey,
follow Rabbi Hannah. She is amazing.
You can drop me. I know if I drop myself, it's a thing. So go ahead and kick me out.
I kicked her, just like she asked. All right. So Scooter, back to what we were talking about. So you don't think that just because the God does things that aren't good, that makes him not all good?
Well, I mean, how do you challenge God?
Well, that's going to be my thing then. If I cannot, from my perspective, so I am told to challenge all things. Even Paul in, I think it's Ephesians, he says to test all things to see if they be true. And so the only way we can do that is through our own cognitive abilities. There's no way to know it otherwise. So if all I have is what I understand and the people around me understand as being good or whatever, as a consensus, then that is what I'm going to have to judge a claim that something is good by. I can't just say, well, he says he's good, so he's good, and I just can't understand him. That just means that you wouldn't be able to tell if he wasn't good.
Right. I mean, what do you gain from it?
From God not being good?
No, I mean, what do you gain from the proof that he doesn't exist? What's
I gain freedom from a lie that encompasses your life and causes you to think things that ought not be a thing. Like, I learned self-love after understanding that God doesn't exist, because I didn't need God's grace upon me. I didn't need Jesus to cover me in his blood for me to be good or righteous. I am good in and of myself because I'm just a good person and I want to be good.
Right on. That's respectable for sure. Well, let me say like this. We did some family research, and it's a little off topic, but it's on topic. If you follow me for a second, you remember the Salem witch trials?
Yep.
My 10th grandmother was one of the women accused of that. Her name is in the memorial. It took over 100 years to forgive her of those transgressions. Why did that take place?
Not sure.
Do you believe in witchcraft?
This is a good time to remind everybody that no witches were unalive during the Salem witch trials. Only women. They were women. Women were put to unalivement, not witches. Women.
Yes, I understand. Yeah, my 10th great grandmother.
Everybody else. That was for everybody else.
Yeah, I believe people practice witchcraft. I don't think it's like how you would assume witchcraft is. But yes, I do believe people practice witchcraft. I have friends that practice witchcraft.
I have run across a few in my travels in the world. So it's their belief, and they're entitled to it. And just like you're entitled to not believe in God at all. I will never force my religion on anybody.
Okay. But do you think that I deserve hellfire for not believing what you believe?
No.
Right on, Scooter. I think that me and you would be able to have a cohesive conversation. I don't believe God exists, but I believe that.
But if you ask me where my faith comes from, I can tell you that.
Okay, where does your faith go? I'll do that real quick. I'll give you. Listen, Scooter, you've been a great guest. I usually tell people I'll give them 30 uninterrupted seconds to preach, but I will literally give you uninterrupted time to just tell us the story really quick.
Okay, so my grandmother was Sylvia Horine. And she raised me and my sisters. And she raised my mom and uncles. And she was a part of the church. And because she had a love for it, and she taught us and showed us that, that's where my faith comes from. The traditions, the love she shared with us, that's where my faith comes from.
Right on, right on. And I think the biggest point in having these conversations is for people that are using their faith in God to like dictate other people's lives and kind of treat other people as less than and make them feel inferior. I think that's why these conversations can be important. But Scooter, I think you were a great guest. You're welcome back anytime, and you have a wonderful night.
I want to share one more thing with you.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I served in the United States Army.
Okay.
And I felt compelled to get to know my fellow soldiers. And that was one thing that I felt was needed. So, like, say, you are a Baptist and you say, hey, come to church with me Sunday. So I'll go visit and be a part of your church and fellowship and everything all with that. And then I would return the invitation and say, this is where I come from. I'm Episcopalian, Catholic, like, King James Bible kind of came from that idea. That's the story of it anyway. It's kind of organized, but not as, like Catholic Church believes it's a sin unto death to divorce your wife. King James brought some priests to the New World and formed the Lutheran Church. If I'm not mistaken, it was that first, and it kind of dwindled down to other denominations. And St. Mary's in Kinston had a big congregation. Nana never went to there. because it was such a big congregation. It felt like her presence with that church would not be used, and that was what she felt like was her calling. Understand, she sung in the choir. She was a liaison. She read during the service, stuff like that. And she found a little small Episcopal church, St. John's, and they have one in town as well, St. Mark's, Grifton, North Carolina. What's interesting about that is, I'll give you a little crazy, that you, if you ever wanted to find the tallest structure in the United States, is the radio tower in Trenton. It's the tallest structure in the United States.
Oh, really?
It's
interesting.
Like 300 feet taller than any building the World Trade Center was. 300 feet taller.
That's crazy.
It's like it's like 2,100 feet off the ground. If you walk out of St. John's out in the country, you can see this tower behind the church.
You want me to go get you one?
If you could give me like a Dr. Pepper, that would be awesome. Sorry. I thought I was muted.
Oh, no worries. It's just the location. So if you ever was interested in finding this little church, you could find it by the tower. It's not really that far. It's actually, I don't know, maybe a quarter mile down the road.
Right on. Well, Scooter, again, thank you so much for being here. Come back anytime. And you are a great guy. Thank you for coming up. I don't know if we have anybody on TikTok. We do not. We have Christina over in Video Ninja.
All right, go ahead and take Christina.
Never mind. Christina dropped, even though I don't know what just happened. Christina, come back if you would like to, and we can have a conversation. Anyway, we are out of guests again, guys. Please keep tapping them likes, sharing out the live. We're going to push through just like we always do, and we'll get...
I'll be right back. I'm serving up dinner real quick.
Right on. My wife just brought me General Tso's chicken and some potatoes and onions. Delicious.
I made some ground turkey taco bowls for tonight.
Nice. I'd like to talk to you other topic. Yeah, sure. We can talk on another topic sometime for sure. Scooter. Christina, are you with us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, what is your age?
audio.
What is your age, and are you a Christian?
Yes, I am a Christian. I'm 23.
Right on. Which of the topics did you want to talk about tonight?
Well, so I kind of joined late. I just want to, I want to just talk with people about the topic. I take both points of view, the opposite of what I believe and what I believe. So I'm just here to emphasize and just to open my mind to anything.
Okay. So do you believe God exists?
I do, yes.
Okay. I do not. What is your best evidence that can be tested that God does exist?
I believe that everything has to come from a logical, everything didn't came from a chaos called the Big Bang. I believe the Big Bang could have happened, but I believe there's a source outside of time, outside of matter. An intelligence behind everything we see. I mean, even the way that us humans are created and how little we know about everything, even from the ocean to space, we have seen that there's such little things that we don't know. And honestly, it all points to an intelligent creator. Like, for example, I'm in a house right now, and I believe that this house has a person who built it. It will be nonsense for me to say, oh, the house just appeared out of the blue by just this boom, and suddenly it was order from disorder.
Yep. Okay, so first question I would have is we're going to have to talk about time. You think that God is outside of time?
Yes, I do.
What is your definition of time?
I believe time, it's a measure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how to explain exactly, but I believe time is a measure, and God is outside that measure that we cannot control.
Okay, so do you think that it takes time for something to change states?
It does, yes. I think
Okay.
things do evolve, yes.
Okay, so if it takes time for things to change, God would have had to have went from a point of wanting to create the world and then, or from not wanting to create the world to wanting to create the world. So that would be a change of states, which would mean that it would have taken time for him to just make the decision to create the world.
Yes, he's an eternal being, so having his time of being alive forever, he at a point decided to create time itself and then to create everything else from that.
Yeah, I don't think you listened to what I said, though. To decide to do something would be a change of states, which would require time itself.
I don't think she listened to herself because she also
So
said
him
God
deciding
needed time.
doesn't correlate with time? I think that he saw outside of time, but he then created the scale of what we know now of time itself. You know, God didn't really need time unless he had a world that really needed the measurement. You know what I mean? Exactly. Okay. Yeah.
So you're saying, like, time is...
created measurement.
You're saying that, like, the measurement of time God created when he created the world so we would understand the world?
Yes, I believe that it was something. It's a pretty good thing to think about. Like either it was created for us, or what purpose was time created? Because he's eternal. I don't think he really needed it. Just to think about it, like he didn't really need it if he was alone or he was on heaven. There's not the Bible said there's not a set of like, hey, it's eternal. It's forever. So time really wouldn't be a thing.
Okay.
But yeah, I want to know like what's the point of like what time would affect?
Well, time would affect, if God didn't create time, that means time always existed, which would negate part of your argument, but we can move past that. So, you're talking about the fact that there are so many things out there that humans don't even know exist, right?
Yes.
Is it true that God brought every animal before that was created before Adam and made humans rulers over them?
Yeah, the Bible says so. He said that he created all creatures.
Yeah, so So at one point humans did know every creature.
Oh, sorry, I lost you.
I said, so at one point humans did know every creature. We just, like, lost the knowledge over time. I don't know what is happening.
Cool. I think my internet really sucks.
Oh, okay. So the question is...
Can you hear me, sorry?
Yeah, do you hear me?
I think my internet really sucks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think Christina needs to get a new, or better internet before they come back. But, no, so the problem is with, like, this ideology that there's so much out there that we don't know. The problem is God brought all of those things to man for him to have authority over in the very beginning. So mankind would know everything that existed out there at some point in time. So what you have to do then is say, well, at some point in time, we just quit knowing about everything. But at one point we did. So the argument that we don't know everything that's out there really isn't a justified argument.
Nope, not at all. I don't think she was getting what you were putting down about time either. Like, she couldn't understand that.
That's why I
Never
moved
felt-
on. I didn't feel like she was. There was definitely a language barrier, I think, to some extent.
Yeah. But you know, I was thinking today about how God is clearly the author of confusion. He is clearly. And the reason I say that is because when you bring God into the equation, if you will, you end up with more questions than you do answers. Before there's a God, you have questions, and a lot of them you can find the answers through scientific method. And some of it you say, we will find the answer to this one day. We don't have all the technology or what have you. But with God, you just get more and more and more questions.
Yeah.
Like, why is it okay to pick up a stone on the Sabbath and not a stick? Just wondering.
The whole God is not a God of confusion literally is a contradiction of Genesis 11. Genesis 11 is all about how God saw man communicating between each other and coming up with the plans, and then God's like, no, I need to confuse this shit so they can't become too unified, and he gave them all different languages. God literally authors the confusion of language differences. But then later it says God is not the author of confusion. It's literally a contradiction of what happens at the Tower of Babel.
You know how deconstructing, like, you think you kind of heard everything, every argument there ever is, and then somebody says something and you're like, God damn, I didn't think about that either. I never thought of that before. Like, it just never dawned on me that God never talks to a woman. And it makes me sad. The angel of the Lord talks to Mary, but God never talks to a woman. I can't think of a time.
He talked to Eve. I mean, to curse her, but that was it.
Okay, that's true. He curses Eve. Okay, fine.
He does curse Eve.
You got me there. You got me there. He talks to her and curses her. But then he doesn't ever talk to a woman the whole rest of the time.
It is clear, like, the more you get away from the Bible, the more you realize how, like, culturally stagnant it is. It's constantly just, like, fitting with the times, or, like, Jesus comes and does some things that are outside the time, but for the most part, he's, like, being as diplomatic about it as possible and keeping most of it. Christina, do you have better connection now?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. So, I'm trying to remember where we were. Crystal, do you remember where I was in the conversation?
No. You guys had moved on from time, and then I was serving dinner, so I did not get to like really concentrate on that part of the conversation. Do you remember? Do you guys chat? Do you remember? Give us a clue.
She's gone again too. I don't think she has good enough internet to have the conversation. Christina, I would just come back another time when you have some good Wi-Fi. She did say God created time, but we moved away from time because she wasn't understanding my point about time. But I can't remember what I moved away to.
You guys, if you're a Christian or a believer of the God of the Bible and you want to talk about why God does exist, come on up. If you hate the LGBTQIA and you want to tell us why, and you can do it without being hateful to us, just talk to us about it. Come on up. You know, put your request in. We'll talk to you about that as well. Whoever that was went right back down.
Hello?
Hey, Rocket, can I get your age for TikTok purposes?
Yeah, I'm 18.
You're 18. All right. And did you want to talk about why you hate the LGBTQIA, or did you want to talk about how God doesn't exist?
Well, I mean, we can talk about the second one because I don't hate the LGBTQIA.
Okay, yeah, let's talk about the second one then. That's awesome. So we're saying God does not exist. What do you say?
Well, I would say you can't make that proposition unless like there's a contradiction in the hypothetical, or not a hypothetical, the hypothesis.
You have to unmute, Joyful. You muted because of your background noise or something?
Oh, there is a contradiction on all omni properties. Do you believe God is all powerful?
Yep.
Is God bound by logic?
No. Oh,
okay.
Sorry, wait. Let me bound by logic as in I don't believe God can do logical contradictions.
Oh, okay. So God is bound by something.
Well, I wouldn't say logic is a thing. It's like an abstract thing. I don't believe it has like ontology. So I'm like a conceptualist. I don't believe like logic is like something that's like
okay. So there are things God cannot do because it would contradict logic.
Yeah, like you can say he has like arbitrary limits.
Okay, so he's limited, so he's not all powerful. Okay, there's your contradiction.
No, like the reason why it wouldn't be a contradiction is how we give an account for the term omniscience. So we would say omniscience is him doing everything logically possible. So
yeah, so within his nature, can God lie?
No, that would be a metaphysical impossibility. It wouldn't be a logical one.
Okay, so God can do anything possible within his nature?
Yeah, like God can do anything.
Okay,
pretty much.
So I can do everything possible within my nature. So am I all powerful too?
Well, no, because one, you can't do like whatchamacallit. There are things that your human nature can do insofar as there's no logical impossibility, but you can't. So
I do. I can do everything within my natural state. So
I can too.
Yeah, I can do everything within my nature. So am I all powerful?
No, and here's the reason why. Because when you say so when you say you can do all things insofar as your capability of like your nature, that would be a limit.
Yeah, God can only do things within his nature though too, right?
Yeah, but I'm telling you, everything.
You can't use the word omni and not mean. Hang on one second.
It's hilarious.
You can't use the word. Hang on one second.
You can't.
You can't. Hang on one second, gentlemen. Please, you're both talking over me.
I was trying to explain.
You cannot. Please stop talking over me. You cannot use the word omni or that prefix and not mean all. If it doesn't mean all, it no longer is omni.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't say contradictions are things. So, like, it wouldn't really, like, affect me. I wouldn't say, like, a square circle.
There are things. They exist.
Contradictions exist? Contradictions exist? Are you serious?
The concept of a contradiction exists, Rocket.
The concept.
Pull your head out for a minute and think about what we're talking about.
But I mentioned a squared circle.
So if God cannot lift a rock big enough that he can't lift it, then he cannot do all things, because that is what omni means. Now, if you want to call him semi-omni or whatever, you can. But he's not omni.
Yeah, I can do more things than God because I can lie.
Yeah, so like for him to be all powerful, a necessary precondition of being all powerful is not being able to do things that an all powerful God wouldn't do. So I can't say I am all
No, that's a contradiction. Saying they can do all things but can't do some things because they can do all things, that's literally a logical contradiction. You just gave me the contradiction. Yes, it is. You cannot both do all things and then not be able to do all things.
Yeah, I know. I get your objection, and if you allow me to explain, your objection will be covered.
So, it won't, but go ahead.
Well, how do you know that?
Because I've heard these arguments so many times. But go ahead.
That's poisoning the well fallacy.
Just go ahead.
Okay, so you are fallacious. Thanks for the concession there. So
no, you are fallacious.
Wait, what is my fallacy?
Your fallacy is that you said God both can do all things and not do all things. That's a direct contradiction. Yes, it is.
No, it's not. And second of all,
It is.
I will bring it up.
It is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
listen to this Philbro not knowing how to Philbro.
Yeah, it's not a contradiction because I was going to explain why it's not a contradiction. So I
P
can posit
cannot
the
be
proposition.
P and not
so
P
like
at
I
the same
can't,
time.
so I can't speak. Well, yeah, according to Frege and Russell, who actually created this formulation of classical logic, insofar as a qualifier. So I can qualify in what respect using second order logic to show why it wouldn't be a contradiction.
Okay, show me how it's not a contradiction.
I mean, that's what I've been trying to for the past 5 minutes, but you just keep.
You can stop with the meta commentary and explain.
It's not meta. You keep interrupting.
Stop and just talk.
Wait, what's wrong with you guys, yo?
Because you
heck?
keep going. Well,
Your
if you
own
let me
people.
talk,
You guys
okay.
are
So
like
we're
girls.
saying
Just
talk, and then you won't
Relax.
talk.
You guys are
Just
both like 40 years old.
Listen,
like, relax.
listen. I know
Thank you
this
for
is
the
hard.
compliment, okay, that is
This
very
is hard,
sweet. I
okay?
really appreciate you.
I know
earned
it's
some
hard.
brownie points there.
I know it's hard to have a
You called me
conversation,
40.
but when we give you time to talk, and then you just cry about the way we were talking and you didn't have time to talk, we're giving you that time to talk, and instead you decide to cry. So do you want to, if you want to present your argument, then you need to do it right now without complaining first, or we will interrupt you because we aren't here to hear you cry. We're not here to hear you cry.
All right, so I let you speak, and yeah, so you guys were like interrupting me. That's why I couldn't.
Look at this. Now he cries. He doesn't give his argument. Listen.
He can't do it. He doesn't.
He doesn't have an explanation, so all he does is get up here and talk about
explanation.
Cries. Give it now without crying.
Relax. Okay, I'll give one. So the reason why it wouldn't be a contradiction is because he is not doing the thing in question. He is not capable of doing something that does not exist. That is not a limit.
Lying does exist. Lying does exist.
I said that's a metaphysics.
You said he. Lying is a real. No, shut the fuck up. Oh my god, you are the worst. Lying does exist. Lying is a real thing that I can do. I can lie right now. I can say your name is Stephanopoulos, even though I can see your name is R equals some stupid shit.
Yeah.
I could lie right now. So God cannot lie. You said God cannot lie.
That would be a contradiction. I can tell you why.
Yes.
Yeah, he can't
And so
do
God
yes.
cannot do some things that do actually exist, correct?
No, it wouldn't exist for him. That's the point. Like,
all right, so he can do all things within his nature.
Can I explain? This is
hold on. Can he do all things? So what makes him all powerful? No, you're not answering questions. So what you're saying is this is a yes or no. It's simple. I don't know if you can answer those. Can God do? Is what make God all powerful? Is he can do all things within his nature? Yes or no?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I can do all things within my nature, so am I all powerful?
Back to the other argument. Okay, so I can answer that, right? But you ran from my explanation of.
No, there was no explanation last time.
You didn't give me a chance to give one.
Alright, so tell me.
Given a chance, and you've got nothing. You just keep repeating the same stupid shit with nothing new to say.
This dude is
You are
an
so
idiot.
tired. You are 18. Go read a fucking book.
The knowledge gap is real.
My God.
What?
So, like, could I explain?
Yeah,
what is the
knowledge
difference?
gap between
Okay.
an 18-year-old? Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are getting
It's
fried.
real, folks. I remember when I was 18 and I thought I knew everything too. I remember that.
Crystal,
yeah.
like, what books have you read on like metaphysics? Oh, she can like answer that too.
Oh my God! What books have you read on?
Can you tell me like a valid inference?
I'm not going to
Give me
sit
a
here and
valid
do a
rule of
pissing
inference.
contest
You
with
can't
you. What I
even tell
want
me
is
what
you to give an actual argument.
omnipotent
Okay, yeah, I can give one.
You can't even define a fucking word, and you're up here acting
I can
like
give
you're
like a
smarter than
biconditional definition and
You're just
exhaustive
like
account.
every Phil bro that we need.
Huh? That was cringe. Okay. So yeah. So
So cringe.
yeah. So the reason why he cannot lie.
I think it's funny that 18-year-olds think that they
So
can hurt
I
people's
literally
feelings
can't
by
speak.
saying
So
cringe.
I literally can't speak. And then the people in the comments are like, "Stop with the excuses." She's literally interrupting me. Like I cannot do anything. So can I like explain why he cannot lie without being interrupted, or?
Okay, explain to me how he can't do something that is within reality and is all powerful without it being
Yeah,
a
because it
contradiction.
entails a contradiction, and contradictions don't exist in any possible world. So they don't
Nope.
exist. What do you mean, no? Is there a possible world where contradictions can
No, it's not a contradiction of his omni power. What it makes it a contradiction it makes your God a contradiction, is that he can't both be all good and all powerful, because that would indicate that he can't lie because he's all good, but then that dictates that he's not all powerful because he cannot lie. That's why properties are contradictory in and of themselves.
Yes, I'm familiar with this paradox atheists like use. The reason why it's stupid is because
It's not.
It doesn't fall under my account. Like I can say, wait, what do you mean it's not? I gave you my definition.
No, I already told you that it's dumb to say that God can't do something because it goes against his nature. And then I say I can't do certain things because it goes against my nature, but God's all powerful all of a sudden because he can do everything within his nature. I can do everything within my nature, so by your own definition, that would mean I am all powerful. And you have no rationale to make the distinction.
Yeah, okay, I can. Okay, I'll let you speak now. I can easily explain this.
Okay, make the distinction.
Yeah, the reason why there is discernibility, which means like a symmetry breaker here, is one, you can do anything that doesn't entail a contradiction. You know what modal logic is and like axiom.
I agree.
S5.
Me and God have that same thing in common, yes.
Yeah,
Go.
so for you, the reason why you are not the same like all-powerful being as like God would be is because, let's say, for example, there's no logical contradiction in you being able to create life, right, out of nothing, or ex nihilo, or be able to fly. But you cannot do that. God.
No, there is a
You can't prove
contradiction.
that he can
Wait, what's the
anyway.
logic?
You
Wait, one
can't
second.
even
What's the
prove that he
logic? Wait.
can.
Okay, perfect. What's the logical contradiction in you being able to fly? Go ahead.
Hey, me being able to fly?
Yes, go ahead.
I'm gonna have to give me 1 second. I'm gonna write out I'm gonna write out premises.
Okay. Give me like a quick modus bonus. I would like love that.
Okay, so the main. Let me think.
It's just a simple P and not P. Like according to
No, I get it. All right, so to fly, you must have wings.
No, I reject that.
Yeah, okay, so there's things that fly without wings.
So
Can you show me the one thing? Can you show me one thing? Can you show me one thing that flies without wings?
That's a burden shift, and in fact,
Can you show me one? No, you are rejecting my premise. You are rejecting my premise. So now you have to tell me why my premise is flawed. Is there anything?
I'll tell you why.
What flies without wings?
Yeah, I'll tell you why, and don't interrupt me. Even if I grant it, it wouldn't lead a logical contradiction.
No, it will. It will. I don't have wings, therefore I cannot fly, because it would be contradictory that I can fly without wings, because we know that nothing can fly without wings.
What?
Can you name anything? No, R. Shut the fuck up. So you're gonna answer my question. Can anything fly without wings? Yes or no?
Yeah, I'll engage with it. So how are we defining fly here?
Does anything fly? No, we're going to keep it.
No.
So you're gonna answer my question. Does anything fly of its own accord without wings?
So flying here just means like being
able to
like reject gravity in a sense, like being okay. Is that what you mean?
Yep.
Okay, so we can say like a balloon, a hot air balloon.
No, that's not flying.
Jetpack.
That's not flying.
Under
You're
your
talking.
definition,
That is not
anything
flying.
that goes up must come down. If something
No,
is going up,
flying
it's
is
not coming
different. Hot air balloons do not fly. Do you know?
down.
Did you know
Why I
that?
asked your definition.
They float. Do you know the difference? Look at you. You don't know the difference between float and fly. So you come up here to have an intellectual conversation, but you
said
don't even
anything
know
that
the difference
leaves the
between
ground.
basic words.
I asked your definition. You said anything that leaves the ground. We
No,
agreed on
no,
it.
that is not what I
Okay,
said.
what is
See
your
how you're straw manning what I actually said? Something
what
that
is your
propels itself into flight above the ground.
Yeah, a rocket.
Okay, there's no wings on a rocket. There's no wings on a rocket. You're wrong. So I'm going to show you a rocket. I'm going to. What does a rocket ship have on it when it leaves?
Yeah, an engine, a turbo.
And it has wings. Have you ever seen a rocket ship?
Yeah, there are some rocket ships without wings. There are jets without
Yeah,
wings.
it's.
There are jets without wings too. You understand?
Don't do that.
Okay, you
And
know
even if
what?
wait, 1 second, Crystal, if you don't mind. Even if I go
Hold on.
No.
No physical thing, no biological thing fly. You know what I'm talking about, and I know that you're getting into semantics. Okay? And I get that. I get wanting to be semantical. We're talking about natural beings. Is there any natural being, okay, that flies without wings?
Yeah, so that would just be violating.
Is there any natural?
violating
No. Answer my fucking question. Quit running from it. Are there any natural beings that fly
I'll
without
answer.
wings?
I'll
Yes or
answer.
no?
Yeah, so this is a violation of naturalism,
No,
not of logic.
you're
not of
not. You're
logic.
not. You're not answering. Is there anything that flies naturally without wings? Is there anything natural that flies without wings? Yes or no?
Okay, can you mod stop muting
You
me?
cannot. No, I'm muting you because
No.
you aren't answering the fucking question. Answer the goddamn question, and I'll let you talk. Is there anything natural that flies without wings? Yes or no?
Yeah, and you said you're gonna let me talk. I'm gonna answer. So don't cut me off. So you can grant no.
Okay, nope. No, that's not the answer. It's a yes or no question. I don't know why you guys. I don't know why you guys don't know how to answer yes or no questions.
I just said no, and I was qualified.
Okay, no. So some things fly. Some natural things fly without wings. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you for letting me speak now.
Okay, so what flies without wings?
Yeah, okay. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna answer your question,
What
and then
flies without wings?
Yeah, so for my knowledge, I don't know anything in the naturalistic world that flies without wings. It's not.
Yep. Okay. So there we go. So yes, nothing flies in the naturalistic world without wings. So you have nothing. You have nothing to base your negation of my premise. You have nothing to. No. It does violate logic because I have a premise I set forward. You have nothing to refute my premise with, but yet you're rejecting it. Do you know what that's called?
Yeah,
Can you tell me what that's called when you reject a premise without any refutation?
Yeah, I reject it because it doesn't entail a contradiction. That's the whole
No,
point.
it does. We already.
Yes, it does.
We just went through this. We've went through this like 10 times. I don't know how people can be that dumb. You have to be special dumb.
He's very arrogant. You know, at 18, you get a little arrogant. When he gets in his 20s, he's going to start realizing how stupid he was when he was 18. But unfortunately, it won't stop there because he'll continue to be stupid. In his
I'm sure
20s,
he
and
was
then he'll
orthodox. I'm sure he was orthodox. He was.
I didn't get a chance to ask. I do not know why, but all your comments are being filtered right now. I'm having to approve a bunch of comments. I don't know what's going on. Yeah. It's so weird.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that, but I haven't. Philbros, I wish there was an actual, person that could have an actual conversation.
Me too.
nothing he said, like, you can't reject a premise without an actual reason to reject a premise. You have to be able to present your case on why something is not the case.
Well,
like, why the premise is
problem I
wrong.
have with all these young Philibros is, and just to answer his question finally, I don't read a lot of books on metaphysics because I think that it's stupid. But anyway, the thing with Philibros is they want to win. It's all about winning a point and stuff. Like he was clapping and laughing when he thought he got you with the rocket, and you know, and then feigning such, you know, shock about things you would say, what? Like, what are you doing, dude? Calm down. You know, getting people riled up and then going, calm down, everybody, after you piss everybody off. It's the same thing we see with them over and over and over again. It's exhausting. It's boring. It's overplayed. The audience hates it. YouTube hates it. It doesn't make for good content. Yeah.
No, he just, yeah. It's all gaslighting, exactly. Exactly, it's all. To believe what he does means you have to choose to be illogical. Yes. You have to choose to be illogical to believe in an omni-anything God.
And I don't know what exactly is the problem in believing that your God isn't all those things. I don't understand. If you would have sat down and told me, well, Crystal, your God can't be all powerful because there are things you said your God can't do, I would go, oh, okay, well then I guess he's not that. But he's still really awesome. That's what I would have thought. I would have been like,
Yeah.
he still could do way more than your God.
DNA is complex, deliberate, and delicate. Did it just appear? No, Marks, that's not true. Do you know how much of our DNA is useless? Do you know what percentage? No, yep. We only utilize 8.2% of our DNA. Nope. That is not true. DNA is only 8.2% is actually used. Everything else is just filler from
we know
past.
that DNA is not an appendix or gallbladder. Okay, we know they're not like that. No, we know that.
We only use 8.2% of our DNA. These are the lies church tells you, though. They tell you, like, how, like, DNA just couldn't have been happenstance. But it can. It is. In fact, we have so much junk DNA in our systems that isn't even used that it would make no sense that if a God wrote it all out for every individual, that there would be 90% junk DNA.
Do you guys think that if there was a God, do you guys, I'm talking to you in the chat, okay? When I say you guys, not you and God, okay? Do you guys think that if there was a God, he would do things like make a molecule in the shape of a cross to represent the horrific thing that unalived his son. Like he would be like, hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make something really small. And one day they're going to find it and it's going to be in the shape of the horrific tool they used to crucify my child. Do you think that's really what an all-powerful, all-loving, all-knowing God would be doing, is doing that?
I don't know what that meant, Tino, but the cross is
The
made
cross
holy.
is made holy because it saved the entire generation.
It did not.
I mean,
There is no and as a matter of fact, Jesus said he would come back before the generation that unalived him had all passed away, and they all passed away. Jesus was a known liar and a scamster. He told false prophecies, and according to Deuteronomy, if a prophet during your lifetime's prophet doesn't come true, they are a false prophet. So all of the Old Testament prophecies that people say are about Jesus was long after the people they prophesied to, which means they each were false prophets. So you can't attribute it to Jesus at all, because according to God himself, that would be a false prophecy.
Dale said, how do you know that what you read in textbooks claiming to be science is true? Well, Dale, one of the fun things is that if you study science, you can actually do
It's not what it
experiments
says, Tiny.
to see if what they're telling you is true a lot of times. So, for instance, if you watch like Bill Nye, the Science Guy, sometimes, Dale, he'll give you actual little science experiments you can do at home. Now, can I do every science experiment at home? No, Dale, I cannot. So that's when I go and read other papers to see if peers who have reviewed the science papers I'm reading also agree with the findings. And that's really cool because you get to read what they did too. And so you can, compare and use your logic and your cognitive abilities to learn. It's pretty cool.
Peer-reviewed studies, yep. A lot of it is peer-reviewed. And things that aren't are going to be just like the hypotheses that are written down.
No, I don't have a God, deal, because if you have a God, most people, when they have a God, worship, and I don't worship peer-reviewed studies because, well, Dale, that would be weird. That would be
It would
weird.
be weird. They talking like you're a piece of isn't helping your argument. Let's see. How I'd ancient history studied? I don't know what that means.
Hey, talking like you're a piece of shit isn't helping your argument. I don't know. If us talking in our normal voices is talking like somebody's a piece of shit, I don't know what to tell you.
If you are on YouTube and you disagree, hop up in the little box there.
Dale, no, I actually, first of all, atheists don't have a worldview that we share. So you're going to have to talk to every atheist to find out where their worldview comes from and what that is, okay? So do I base some of my worldview on science and its answers? Yeah, I hope you do too. I hope you go to the doctor when you're sick, and I hope you don't use healing oils or something silly like that. I personally go to the doctor because I trust science for the most part. That's just me. That's just me. Joyful might be different because we are not a monolith.
I go to the doctor because my wife makes me.
You sound like a man.
I'm like, oh, it's fine. She's like, you've had that for 6 months on your leg. You need to go get it checked out. Let's see here. He died for all of us, Cyrus says. Cyrus, there is a link up at the top of the screen of the chat. You can click on it, and you don't have to sign up for anything, and you can join this chat. All you have to do is write whatever you want as a name, and you will join the conversation over on Video Ninja.
Exactly, OG Fuzz, exactly.
Gotta listen to the live, yes. Request up if you are a Christian and you disagree, or if you're just a bigot and you hate the LGBTQIA, whether it's you feel like they're indoctrinating your kids or anything like that. Request up, and
I will mute up, and I will allow you to say the bigoted stuff to Joyful until he can't take it. Don't yell at me in chat though, because sometimes in chat, sometimes in chat they egg me on, and then I can't stay muted.
Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that? That's why.
I don't know.
All right, let's see. We got. I'm gonna take a quick break. I'll be right back. I would be terrible at playing ups.
Get him.
But I will be right back.
All right. I will talk about nothing. My cat is hanging out with me right now playing fetch. I'm going to have to record Edie playing fetch. I think you guys would love it. She likes gift bows, and then like I throw them, and most of the time she stops them or knocks them down, and I cannot get them past her. She is the best goalie there ever was. But every once in a while, like I'll throw it off because I'm sitting on my bed, and I'll throw it off the bed, and she'll jump off the bed, she'll go get it, and she'll bring it back to me. But most of the time, she doesn't bring it all the way back to me. She just brings it up on the bed, and I have to ignore her, and eventually she'll bat it over to me when she thinks I'm not paying attention. She's adorable. One of our 6 kitties. Edie Beatty. Edelgard is her actual name. Anyway, you guys keep tapping the screen. Let's try to get to 20,000 likes as quickly as possible. Joyful also has a gift goal of the hats and mustaches. If you have the coin, please send those up. If you cannot afford the coin for the hats and mustaches, we get that. But if you've got a coin or two, and you can send up roses to me or Joyful, that really helps. Also, any gifts that you give us in Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, etc. I know that Joyful and I are both trying to upgrade all our equipment right now so that we can bring you better streams. I'm trying to, hey Philly Red, I am trying to upgrade my equipment so I can stream to YouTube and Twitch and so forth. So just so you know, that's where our what we're doing right now is we're trying to upgrade our equipment. And thank you all for being here. Also, don't forget to subscribe. And if you've already subscribed, consider giving out some subscriptions to the chat. I have a tuxedo cat too. My tuxedo cat's name is so original. You're going to love it. It's Tux. Yeah.
Hey, Crystal and everybody, I am going to shut down the live for now. We don't really have any ops right now. My wife is trying to get some things together for the 4th of July. I'm going to go help her. I might try again here in a bit. I'll text you, Crystal. It just depends on, like, how long this takes. But the live's kind of, like, tapered down and everything anyway. So I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being here. And we will be back live Monday, if not tonight.
Everybody have a safe 4th of July weekend. Please, if you're shooting off fireworks, be careful, be safe, and don't do it in areas where fire is potential, okay? Be safe. Have a great 4th of July.
That's funny as fuck.
I'm your #1 stalker.
Joyful! Joyful, what is going on?
It's messed up. Gary's got me sitting over here watching our stuff. Well, he's like, you're on TikTok. And? I'm always fully charged, so if we do go to Scott's, I can take you guys with me. Oh my god, my back hurts so bad leaning up against this chair. Okay, baby. You handle what you need to handle, Liam. I love you. I'll find out. I gotta put my dog in, yeah. Talk amongst yourselves for a second. I'm gonna go put my dog inside. I'll be right back.
Guys.
I wanna give you money, no. I don't wanna meet you, no.
What?
Get no love from you have me.
God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. Christians, it's my time to awake. It's my time to understand your name.
Hey, Lindsay, here's something for you. We got some street preachers out here today. You know how that goes. There's always gotta be one. Gotta be one. I wish Gary would come back. I want to walk around for a bit. Just because I'm on TikTok doesn't mean I don't want to walk around. He's got this thing when he goes to places like these. When we go to places like these, he likes to pick up like little sample stuff. I don't know why, but he does. Now I'm fucked up. Now it's time to get real fucked up. My dog's up. It's not. You look gorgeous, Jane. I can't hear her.
As soon as I got on TikTok, he took off. I told you he hates this app.
Republicans do.
What's that?
Republicans do.
Okay, Gary's a Republican.
Yeah, I hate this app.
It's all right. I mean,
It's not Republican.
I'm neutral about this app. There's some pretty crazy stuff on here, I'll say that. I don't love it, but I don't hate it either.
I just joined TikTok, so I can't really. It took me a long time to even join it, so I'm so new to it. I don't have an opinion about it.
You know what they did to me? They took my son from me for 10 years, and then they turned around and took him again. But my son talked to DSS today, one hand on, and got to tell him how he felt. And I told him to tell the truth and be honest with everything he said and why he wanted to go where he wanted to go and all that other shit. I told him to be honest, you know, and let him do his thing today. So tomorrow DSS should be contacting me to let me know the deal. But that's what he did today, and that's what I told him. I didn't persuade him to do nothing, none of that shit. I just told him to be honest. Why you want to go, where you want to go, and why. You know, tell him the truth. But y'all, I am worn the fuck down. I am worn out. Is that moonshine? Drink that goddamn shit! Is that moonshine? Drink that goddamn shit! I want some of that goddamn shit! Is that moonshine, sir? Is that moonshine? Ask him. Oh. What is that? Is it
Sweet
what?
tea.
I can't hear him. Is that Gary? Is that Gary?
No, that's half tea, half lemonade. It's an Arnold Palmer.
I thought that was goddamn moonshine.
In a mason jar. I gotta take a picture of this.
Yes, honey.
Oh, moonshine, come.
Go ahead. Go ahead and take a picture of it, babe.
Well, I am gonna take a picture of it. I'm gonna take a picture of it. That's hilarious. I've never seen one. Oh, they're right down here.
Read it.
Old
Sir,
Testament.
sir, excuse me. I'm sorry. That's the context of this verse that you don't know because you didn't read this chapter.
Okay.
Amadeus.
I admit it.
Hey,
I
check this. Hold on. I need to talk to Amadeus. Amadeus, I think he forgot
that Paul also, tells slaves to obey their masters in the New Testament.
Yeah, I have all the verses in the New Testament regarding
Don't
slavery.
forget all the women that they trafficked throughout Jerusalem in numbers.
Also, slavery is in your 10 Commandments. I know those come from the Old Testament, but you guys claim to follow them.
But yeah, Storm, do you remember that too? You remember when
haven't
Paul
followed them.
said
Name
slaves
one
obey
time we
your
followed them
master?
in the current day.
You don't follow the 10 Commandments?
Do you believe lying is wrong?
Lying is wrong, yeah.
Commandments?
Do you believe lying is wrong?
Lying is wrong, yeah.
Commandments?
Do you believe lying is wrong?
Lying is wrong, yeah.
At any time,
Yes, it
despite the
is.
context,
Yes, it is.
it's always wrong.
Yes, it is.
So, if you lived in an authoritarian police state and the government was persecuting Christians, and a Christian family came to your house and you were going to hide them, and the police came and said, "Hey, do you have these Christians in your house?" Would you lie and say no?
I would correct.
Oh, so you would not lie. You would tell them you do.
Yeah.
Okay, so you basically would have given up the Jews to the Nazis. Gotcha.
That's different context.
It's
No,
not.
it's not. It's literally the exact
You
same
changed
thing.
it up. You
No, I just
you
changed.
said
I changed the characters in play.
Okay,
I said authoritarian police.
So it's okay to persecute Christians and not Jews?
Oh, good news.
It's not okay to persecute Christians. It's not okay to persecute anyone.
Okay, so what was the difference in the analogy?
Right.
The difference in the analogy is that people would have died either way.
Okay.
But people would have died in people would have died in both stories if both were lied.
No, we were talking about lying. If you
But
lie.
get this. If let's say a
wanna
Yeah, you're just gross already. You're already gross.
Let's say a person comes over to my doorstep.
No. I don't want you, because I really need you to think about the fact that all I did was change Yahtzees to authoritarian state, which the Yahtzees were, and Jews to Christians, and you were like, yeah, I would have lied, or I wouldn't have lied. I would have told them the truth. It doesn't really matter if I changed up the story. I used the same kind of characters. I just changed.
If you got that wrong, I said no. I said no. I would have not.
Did I get that wrong, everybody? Did I get that wrong?
I thought you said you would have.
What I meant to say is no. I would have not given them over to them. That's what.
Okay,
that's
so
what,
you would have lied.
I would have lied. Yes.
So then lying's not wrong in that context.
That's the point of repenting.
No, is lying still wrong in that context?
You sin every day. You lie every day.
No, is lying still wrong
yes or no
in that
question.
context?
Yes, but that's the point of repenting.
I think that lying is not wrong in that context, because ultimately you lied to protect people. That's not wrong.
I lied to protect people?
In that context, you would have.
I mean,
yeah.
To save Christians?
And hopefully Jews, if you were in Nazi Germany, yeah.
Wrong. You're putting Christians to Nazis?
No, I'm saying that if you protected them and you lied, then the lying was fine.
You're putting Christians to
Nazis.
Nazis.
Christians were Nazis, but
I really wasn't. I was saying that in the case of
Amadeus,
authoritarian
you got a violation.
Great. No, I don't.
It's because you kept saying Yahtzee instead of.
I don't have a violation. That's an idiot account.
Oh, is this like a?
Yeah, it's a troll.
It's a stupid troll.
It's
That's
no,
not
okay.
a real violation.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was just making sure you're okay.
Yeah. No, you're good. Thank you.
No problem.
Tetris, let me ask you: do you plan to go to college, even if it's Bible college?
Yeah.
So what college are you planning to go into ministry?
Whatever I.
You planning to go into ministry?
Whatever I go to, whatever's on the table.
What is it? What do you think God has for you? What's in the plans?
Hopefully to Auburn.
All right, so you want to go to Auburn. So what do you want to study?
Computer science.
All right. So do you feel like when you're writing papers for your degree track that what you did up here is going to be cool in college?
Can you repeat that question again? I didn't hear you.
when you're in college, you have to take what are called gen eds. Let me put it this way:
Mhm.
some of those gen eds include philosophy, right? And some of those are going to include biology. Some of those are going to include history. Do you feel like if you write a paper for any of your college classes and you say what you said up here, well, I haven't read it, you're going to pass?
No, but that's the point of doing. That's the point of getting your information right and actually going over it.
Oh,
Even if you're
okay.
right or wrong.
So, do you feel like maybe you need to go get some more information before you come up and try
Yeah. I'll admit I had some stuff wrong, but I will admit I need to get some stuff right. I'm just still learning about it. I'm going through. I'm figuring some stuff out. But other than that,
So my whole deal, my whole thing is, what is the motivation to come up on a panel and try to defend something that you know you haven't fully like studied?
oh no, I've fully studied the whole New Testament, but not like the parables and stuff. So
inherently, you can't have studied the whole New Testament if you haven't read the Old Testament. This is like saying, I studied Terminator 2, and you don't even seen Terminator 1. That doesn't make any fucking sense. You don't know what happened in the first thing to have a Terminator in the first place. You don't
But
understand
there's
the context of
there's the
anything.
thing of searching the thing up and giving you the summary, and
Sir,
then
you
going to
cannot get a summary of the Old Testament. It's a whole lot of shit that happens.
It puts it into different sections
Sir,
on what
I need you to know something right now. I need you to understand something, like fundamentally. There is no lineage of Mary through David and Solomon in the
Wait,
Bible.
I didn't hear you. Can you repeat what you said?
There is no lineage of David through Mary, the mother of Jesus, the woman who had Jesus in the Bible, supposedly. There is no lineage given for Mary in the Bible. The Messiah is supposed to be a descendant of Solomon and David, specifically them, according to the Old Testament.
Yep.
The lineage of David goes through Joseph. Is Joseph the father of Jesus?
Nope. God is the Father.
God is the father of Jesus, right?
It's said multiple times throughout the New Testament. God is the Father. I'm the Son. Nobody goes through the
But
Father except through
the
me.
Messiah is supposed to be the biological lineage of David and Solomon.
Holy Spirit conceived.
Oh, no.
But that is not the biological lineage
is.
of David and Solomon, is it?
Yeah, no, here it is. Here it is. I just looked at it because I was like, wait, that's not right. But no, here it is. It starts all the way back from David. It tracks down through Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Judah, brothers, Judah, father of Perez, Zerah, Tamar, Perez, Haran, all of it to this little fun point that says, and Jacob, the father of Joseph, was the husband of Mary, of whom Jesus was born, who is called Christ.
So the lineage goes to Joseph.
Yeah, no.
No, because Mary was a virgin.
So again, is Joseph Jesus's biological father?
No.
Then how is Jesus the Messiah?
Because God is the Father and the Holy Spirit. Oh my goodness.
No. Don't act like you know.
So here's the thing. Here's the thing about context that you need to understand, and this is why Christians need to read the Old Testament. Because this is something y'all made up to attach to the Jewish mythology. And
it was way before.
I need you to understand, sir, be quiet. Messiah is literally a Hebrew word. That means the Jews determine who the Messiah is. Guess who they don't say it is?
Because if you see in the New Testament start, they were false. I don't know the word for it, but there were false people who claimed to be.
Sir,
who are doing false work.
The entire Jewish fucking religion that preceded your religion for thousands of years, and who the central figure of your religion is a part of. Jesus was a Jew.
Uh-huh.
So he practiced Judaism, not Christianity. It's impossible for Jesus to practice. It's impossible for Jesus to have
Christianity is
practiced
mentioned multiple times in the
Christianity because
Bible.
no,
It's
what?
not actually. It's not mentioned once.
Not
Yes, it
even
is.
once.
No, it's not. Christianity is not
He
because
said
here's the deal.
Christianity is mentioned multiple times in the Bible. It's not even mentioned once. Like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It is. Just read your Bible, man.
No, man. Tell us where. Tell us where.
Let me grab my Bible. Okay.
Do you have your physical Bible, or are you just gonna go look on the app? You're gonna go searching on the app.
Amadeus, I would love you forever if you put up a let me grab my Bible counter.
Hallelujah.
All right.
Bye, child.
Can somebody introduce Jay?
I know
Jay,
it's some.
can I get your age?
39. How y'all doing?
39. Doing
Good.
all right. Are you a believer? Where did my friend go? Dorian.
She left a while ago.
Oh, okay. I didn't know she dropped. But
She's still in the comments.
okay, cool.
It is
I'm
mentioned
not a
3
believer.
times in the New Testament.
You're not a believer, Jay? Oh, well, unfortunately, Jay, we are looking for only believers up here. The people that we have up here are mods. So
These are
we are.
mods.
Fair enough.
Yeah, watch this.
I got horrible.
Okay, no worries. Appreciate you being here, though. All right. Yeah.
It is
So
mentioned
anyway,
3 times in the Bible.
where?
Let me find the verses.
That'd be wild.
I don't remember what verses, but
If you find this, I will become a Christian tonight.
No, because they were Christian.
Philippians, Christian.
What?
Philippians 2, Christian humility.
Where?
I said Philippians 2. It says Christian.
Philippians 2 what?
Just Philippians 2 in general.
The whole goddamn fucking chapter? Or is it in the verse?
The verse.
Then what verse?
Philippians 2:1.
Thank goodness.
Christian humility. That's 1.
Hey, let me ask you, bro. Are you still in youth group?
Nope.
No. Were you in youth group all through high school?
Used to.
Okay. Did they tell you that you were going to be persecuted?
Yup.
Okay. Do you feel like you're being persecuted right now?
Kinda.
Oh, that's really funny. Do you know what persecution actually is?
Spew bad language and try to kill that person is what I was taught.
Okay. Well, do you ever feel like maybe Muslims are more persecuted in this country than you'll ever be?